We have found the witch. May we burn her? Burn her! Burn her! Burn her!
Twas the night before, well, nothing in particular, but for the sake of this narrative, April 24th, and all through the sheriff's den not a creature was stirring, soon to be changed by some mischievous men. Listen closely, as I'm only going to say this just once, for it is exhausting to talk about this band of rambunctious little runts, I was going to say runts. Pardon me. As I was saying, this is a tale of 7 friends who are as goofy as they are spry. And though they intended to organize their summer cottage trip, their plans for the night were soon to go awry. After hearing this story, you may have concerns for the integrity of it or our youth. However, I assure you, their intentions were as genuine as this account, and that's the truth. If you are one of the lucky few to be viewing this, prepare yourself for an absolute treat. A story as death-deifying as this one will leave you on the edge of your seat. Now, the time has come to peer further into what lies within. Simmer down, children, because the story is about to begin.
Oh, I thought I was. You're so annoying.
What the fuck are we doing? We're doing a fucking
I don't want to be in this.
As you can see, bro, it's a fucking deer.
Hello, marginally less cringe Shamir here to give you some more insight into this night's happenings. So, some friends and I wish to go on a trip to a lakeside cottage after our graduation, but the extent of our planning process up till then was knowing that we wanted to go sometime during the summer. We decided to get together at my house to plan things out. However, when it comes to our friend group, things rarely if ever get done. Anyways, first Luca came over, and when I saw him through our doorbell camera, it happened to freeze at the perfect moment. I then greeted him and invited him inside. Next, Maddox came over, and Luca and I greeted him by creepily peeking our heads out and saying something we found quirky at the time. Then, Jake arrived, and we watched him from the dining room window. And finally, we decided to jump scare Alex and Zach once he arrived. Cue me hiding under Jake's truck for some reason, preceded by me jumping out and grabbing Zach. Awesome sauce. Now that all of the cottage connoisseurs had been accounted for, it was time to get down to business. And by business, I mean discussing gay sex analogies, using Kool-Aids, and getting no work done.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I agree with that. Yeah.
What?
Like, if you if that, then.
But you just don't let that happen.
Wait,
He's like, no.
Wait, what's the situation again? What does the blue one mean?
The gay guy, you.
At this point, I told the guys about what I believed to be a coyote skeleton that I had seen in the clearing behind my house, of which Maddox, with some peer pressuring, convinced us to go check out. So, us sheeple made our way over the fence and into the bushwhackers' territory. We pranced around a bit, which Luca took videos of but deleted because he cringed-y, and then we slinked on over to the supposed coyote skeleton. Except, upon further inspection and drawing on a little bit of grade 3 biology I retained in my memory, I realized the teeth were too flat for a carnivore and that the skeleton likely belonged to a deer. We snagged some quick photos, and then made our way back to the house where we found Luca to be so kind as to lock us out and forcibly wash our dishes. During this act of kindness, Maddox had been texting our group chat about our discoveries, one of whom took particular interest in. She then promised to stop under the condition that we bring the skull of the deer to her. The following was our reaction to this information.
Am I really gonna defile this
Deer.
firm? Of course I am!
After reinforcements had arrived, that was me poorly making a pun with the word reinforcements and Fahmi's name, by the way, not me butchering another accent. That bit is over, by the way. You're welcome. Our heroes resumed their journey once more, this time with the entire guild's unified effort. Once again, we grabbed some more pictures and then decided on taking the jaw of the deer since the skull was too difficult to remove. This is where things got creepy. As you can see in the video, I ended up shoving my phone into my pocket because the flashlight was on, so the audio and visuals kinda suck here. Instead, I'll just explain what happened here. Someone was walking alongside the road towards us and we could see nothing but their silhouette. So, we justifiably start freaking out.
Who saw that first? Who saw that first? Who saw that person first? Just pick it up. Where were they coming from? That way. Where are they coming from? Just pick it up.
Yeah, they didn't.
But they were giving a shit. They would have yelled at us. There's a guardrail. That's true. They would have yelled at us. Okay.
Let's just go.
Mind you, it's now midnight on a Sunday, and there is literally nothing of significance for dozens of kilometers from the direction they are coming from, since I live on the northmost edge of London. At some point, the person had completely stopped and began facing what seemed to be our general direction.
Everything's going wrong. That person stopped, by the way. They're just standing.
Probably getting the cops.
That's creepy as hell. Okay.
Were they?
Okay.
We continued to wait in silence with our flashlights off and watched them, and after some time, they had passed us and continued to walk further down the road. To this day, I still don't know if that was the spirit of the forest watching us violate this burial site in dismay, or a demon sent from hell to take our souls, only to realize not even the pits of Tartarus were a fate damning enough for us sinners. Having overcome this hurdle and not wanting to take any more risks, our protagonists resolutely began preparing the extremely intricate and delicate process of extracting the jaw. At this point, we were all freaked out and on edge, so Alex told Maddox to, and in response, Maddox said,
They just stand there. You're pissing me off.
Quick side note for the uninformed, Maddox is half Jamaican, as Luca mentioned in this clip,
There's a Jamaican man in my watch.
and his other half is some flavor of white. I don't know. In fact, I should probably inform myself before I try and explain things to the uninformed. Yo,
Hey.
I had a question for you if you don't mind.
Uh-huh.
So, after that conversation with Sean last night, I realized I knew your dad was from Jamaica, but that I don't know what country your mom's side of the family is from.
Like Polish.
Cool, thanks, bye. There you have it, folks. He's half
Like Polish.
and half Jamaican. Okay, cool. Back to the video. With all of the dirty work out of the way, all that was left to do was head back home, get momentarily locked out of the house again, but this time by my dad, who didn't notice us by the kitchen window for the entire time he was washing the dishes, only to realize the door was unlocked, and then hit the road and begin the trek to... On the drive there, we actually spotted the mysterious figure from before.
Suck behind because you guys are so fucking slow.
Oh my god. That was the guy who was watching us, right? Oh my.
Now, the reason why Luca was yelling in that clip was because we were following Alex's car because we didn't know the directions, but they purposefully left us at a red light.
Fucking gone. You're so gone.
Holy shit. You guys turned about us, you assholes.
We don't know where we're going.
We're behind you.
But besides that and the bit of trolling that Jake did while driving,
Crazy frog.
Bing, bing. Jesus Christ, Jake. Oh my god.
not much interesting stuff here as I was in Jake's truck, which was much more peaceful than Alex's van, as he had to deal with both Fehmi and Zach. We've now arrived at the final destination of our journey. We volunteered Maddox to go and deliver the skull at the doorstep so that would exchange it for our liberty. After rifling through the bag and investigating her newly acquired trinket in goblin mode, the witch was at last appeased with our offering and granted us our freedom. On the drive back, we began spitballing defenses for ourselves to excuse us of our alleged crimes, because, spoiler alert, the clearing behind my house is less of a clearing and more like a golf course. And with all that said and done, our outing had come to an end, and we returned to my house once more. Now, earlier I made a promise to get rid of the accent, and while I plan to keep my word, allow me to finish the story in a way that it is meant. A story full of shenaniganry and many a good time, it would be only right to end it in rhyme. Yet again, this bunch had proven their antics were never a bore, and though the night had been a movie, their futures held more in store. Like all good things, our hero's journey had reached its end. They felt fulfilled, despite failing to plan their trip to Grand Bend. You see, through all their trials, their wills remained unbent. Thus, they had an air of pride and an atmosphere of most content. It had been a long and tiring day for each and every gen, but they did it together, and time with friends is time well spent. At long last, the worst of the worries were now out of sight. All that was left to do was to bid each other a merry April 24th, and to all, a good night.